Hello again, SGBers, I'm Companion Wolf. This week's Smile Game Builder tutorial video is a tips and tricks one. As with the previous tips and tricks tutorials, the topics are varied. I'm experimenting with a new editor and a new format, so let me know in the comments what you think. If this is the first video you've watched in my SGB series, or if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified of when I upload new videos. This was originally tutorial 41, scheduled for the 17th of September, but it didn't end up being uploaded to YouTube. In light of YouTube's adpocalypse and the subsequent demonetization of some of my videos, inconsequential really since I only have a small channel, I started looking for alternatives, mainly as a backup. Somewhen, the video became corrupted. I don't know what happened. I didn't notice this until later, right before it was scheduled for upload to YouTube. Parts of the video were still intact, but I decided to just re-record the entire video and renamed last week's tutorial, Vertex's Minimap Player and Quest Marker tutorial, to 41, and this one is number 42 to keep everything consistent. The Moogle charm in Final Fantasy is a unique relic found in the Narshe mines in the world of Ruin that can prevent random encounters on the maps. To create this in Smile Game Builder, we first go into Edit Game Data, Items, and then we're going to add a new armor, as I have done here, called the Moogle Charm. Set as an accessory, add a description as well, and I've given it a small amount of defense as well. And while we're at it, we'll create a new character by clicking add and then Mog. This is just the default, but I changed his graphic to a cat because Mog is a cat. On the map, in map settings and then a battle, and just add a few monsters. Next on the map, we create a chest containing the Moogle charm. Now at this point, equipping the Moogle charm on any character will prevent monster encounters. We don't want that, since it's meant to be effective only when Mog equips it. Unfortunately, however, it's not quite possible to check if specific characters have specific items equipped in SGB, so we need to do something a little bit different. So we add another parallel event, in this case Mog's Moogle Charm. In the event details, the conditions are that Mog is in the party, and the trigger is to automatically start and synchronize. Add a branch to check the held items set to the Moogle charm, and this should be set to 1 as its unique item, and include equipment should be checked as well, otherwise it'll only search for it as an item and not as armor. So under yes, we would ban the monsters with a disable, and then under no, we re-enable it. It's done this way because if the condition is set to check if Mog is in the party, the monster ban will still be in place if Mog leaves the party. Now at this point, if we playtest it, we should encounter a monster while going to the chest, and on our way back, even if the Moogle charm is equipped, monsters will still attack. That's because Mog isn't in the party, so to find him, he's in the house. You can either create his event straight from scratch or just use the stationary add to party preset event and tweak it like so. I should make this the start point before we play test it. Actually, put the start point here. Now we can play test it to see the Moogle charm in action. First thing, if we go to the chest, we'll encounter some monsters, or we should. And you see, regardless, it won't work without Mog. So if you talk to Granny, oh, and look, we can take Mog with us. Hello, Mog. So, since he's joined us, and we can now go outside. And there shouldn't be any encounter. When he leaves the party, the effect of the Moogle charm will simply offer a small amount of defense, as we've seen, and monsters will still attack again. Now, say if you didn't want to use the effects of the Moogle charm and you wanted monster encounters, which you wanted to keep Mog in the party. Since there's no way to check whether an item is equipped on a specific character, you can bypass that with the following setup. With an event. Sheet 1 is a plain unconditioned sheet with a message or a hint that it can be used for storage. This way it won't appear as a blank event because the conditions in the next two sheets would be false. The second sheet is for storage. Add two conditions, one to check if the storage status of the Moogle charm, and the other to check if it's in the inventory, including equipment. You can create this from scratch or just tweak a preset dresser event with the message underneath open. Do you want to store the Moogle charm here? And then you would have a display selection conditional branch where no is kept blank, but under yes you'd subtract the Moogle charm and turn the store Moogle charm switch on. On sheet 3, which is retrieving the Moogle charm, The only condition there is where the store Moogle charm switch is turned on, and again underneath the open, another display message, do you want to retrieve the Moogle charm? Again, no is kept blank, but under yes you would add the charm and turn the switch off. You can of course use a local switch instead of having an actual switch. I just found it easier to reference doing it this way. So when we playtest it again, just going to recruit Mog. And then go straight to the chest. And then on our way back, do you want to store the Moogle charm? Yes. And it's gone in the items. So that means when we go outside, the monsters will attack. Do you want to retrieve it? Yes. And the Moogle charm is in the inventory from which you can equip it or so. So when you go back outside, once again the monsters will not appear, provided that Mog is still in a party. Now in tutorial 37 I did a how-to on customizing windows, but we can also do something different for messages. Instead of using the message graphics, an image can actually be used instead. And the message window is centered on the screen and is roughly 726 by 165 pixels. So the overlay image needs to be slightly bigger. As I have done here. I set mine to 770 by 236, so there's a bit of room to play with. And obviously this is something I cobbled together really quickly, but of course you can create something much better for your game. So once it's imported into the game images and images, we can then create a new event. And in this case it would be on the map. So here, display the window image and set its position relative to the message point. It'll snap automatically, or it should, so you have it much easier. That would be center. Just set it to the bottom like that. And display the message, obviously we set it to the bottom. Check hide window pane, unless of course you want the window pane to show. And then simply delete the image. You can also check the fade in and fade out just for effect. So once again, let's play test it. And we'll need to go outside. Come here. Hello, how are you today? that is the image showing instead of the regular windows, instead of the regular graphics window. Now, as you may have noticed in these playtests, the map name pops up on the screen for a few seconds before disappearing. Many games have this feature, and in SGB it's a simple process that can be used on each map. It needs to be triggered once only, and then you display a graphic set to whatever position you want. I've centralized mine, as you can see. And then you have a wait. I put 1.2 seconds. About a second to a second and a half is about right, bearing in mind that the wait will halt movement while it's active. And finally, you disable it. You can also add an animated effect, as I have done in Deserton or Desert Town. As usual, set the trigger to once only, and then display the graphics so it's sort of off screen. Add a move and then select it to the center of the screen. Wait for some seconds and then move the graphic to off screen on the right, or you can do it from top to bottom or however else you like to do it, and then finally delete the graphic. I've put these on each of the maps already. So if we playtest for each new location, as you've seen, the graphic displays briefly. So in Deserton, now of course you can create something a little less intrusive than I have done here. I just did this for the tutorial. And with that, I'm going to conclude this tutorial. As always, if you found this video useful, click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon next to it to be notified of any new content I upload, RPG Maker stuff as well as Smile Game Builder stuff, or you can visit the official sites, or of course follow me on Twitter and Facebook for updates and news as well as content I don't generally post elsewhere. That's it for another tutorial. Thanks for watching.